Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's That Side Character Chapter 33, and this one is titled Night Away Ended. His plan to stay up all night was going fantastic until about 3 AM when his PSP died, and then he had nothing to distract himself with. He was still sipping the energy drink, but because he was sitting still, all it seemed to be doing was elevating his heart rate, and by 4:30 AM he was really struggling. You had been asleep soundly this whole time, and the spot beside you was starting to look mighty inviting. Trying not to give in to temptation of sleep, he slowly crawled closer to the pillow beside you just to see if he could maybe rest his head on it for 2 seconds. The second his face hit the pillow, he was out like a light, and it was a few minutes later on that you rolled in your sleep and hit something firm. Opening your tired eyes, you came face to face with Kenma, and you nearly screamed into his fringe, but you managed to stop yourself at the last second. "What happened?" you screeched internally as you sat up and stared at him in the dim light. He was still fully clothed on top of the bedsheets, and you sighed with relief, knowing that nothing had happened between you two. "Why am I thinking about this kind of thing anyway?" you thought to yourself as you lay back down again and drifted off to sleep. You weren't sure how long you had slept for, but when you felt Kenma's hand feeling around for something, you woke up again, as his hand landed on your boob and you froze. "What is he doing? Is he awake or asleep?" you screamed internally, opening your eyes to look at him again. He still had his eyes closed, but his brows were furrowed, like he was confused about something. Then he started to feel around your boob, grabbing and squishing it while you just lay there frozen in panic. It was when he started to tap his index finger against your nipple that you completely freaked out and grabbed his hand and threw it off your body. The sharp jerk of his arm was enough to wake him up, and he sat up with a dazed look on his face, trying to work out what happened. "Pervert!" you screeched at him. Huh? "You grabbed me!" What? "You grabbed my boobs, this one!" you screeched, pointing to your left boob. "What? Why? I didn't mean to. I was having a weird dream," Kenma replied, the utter confusion on his face proving his innocence as the bags under his eyes dragged down his face. "What was your dream?" you asked, taking an immediate interest in it since you always had weird dreams. I was looking for my PSP and I found it, but it had gone squishy and I couldn't hold it properly. And I was trying to turn it on, but I couldn't make the button work, and..." You burst out laughing, interrupting him. He stopped and just looked at you, puzzled. You had already figured out what happened, and you had already seen the funny side. You thought my boob was your PSP, you laughed. Kenma still hadn't caught up yet, and he gave you a confused look, bits of his hair sticking up all over the place. You had to explain what happened, and then he went bright red and hung his head as you came to the end of your explanation. "It's okay," you said with a gentle chuckle. "You didn't mean it." "I didn't want anything like this to happen," Kenma said sadly. "I failed my mission." "It's fine. You're fine," you giggled, feeling much better about it all. Since you were both awake now, you decided to get up and check timetables for when the train was supposed to be coming, so you could get back home again. You knew that your dad wouldn't be home, so he would be none the wiser, but Kenma was starting to worry about the fact that he hadn't let his mum know what was going on. "Is your phone still alive?" you asked him. Yeah, but it doesn't have any reception," he said sadly. "Oh, okay. Well, mine has some. Did you want to call your mum from my phone?" you offered, holding your phone out to him. He nodded and took your phone gratefully. "Just type in the number and call her," you said as you got up, searching for any remaining snacks. Kenma followed your orders and rang his mum, firstly apologising for not getting in contact sooner, and then letting her know that he would be back home later that day. She was relieved that he was all right, and spoke a little more to him. Then the conversation ended, and he walked into the lounge room. "Want some?" you asked with a mouthful as you held the snack packet out to Kenma. He nodded and took some food. Then you both tidied up a little. Then you got changed into your clothes from the day before that were in your bag from before you changed into your cosplay gear, and prepared to leave. "Wait," you suddenly said. "I'm going to miss this place. I need a moment." We were here for only a few hours," Kenma said with a confused look on his face. "How can you get so attached so quickly?" "This one time," you started, "there was this white rock that was in amongst black rocks near my grandma's house, and I used to say hi to it whenever I passed it, and then one day it was gone, and I cried for a week." "Oh, wow," Kenma said softly. "Okay, take your time." He walked to the front door to wait for you, while you took a second to savour the last of the place before leaving, remembering that that bedroom was where Kenma had grabbed a handful of your titty. It was equal parts hilarious and flustering, though you didn't quite know how to deal with the emotions, so you just shook your head and turned to Kenma in the doorway. "Okay, let's go." And off you went, back downstairs to the bakery to return the keys, and then off to the train station. It was another 15 minutes wait before the train arrived, and then you were back on it and headed home. Since neither you nor Kenma had had a good sleep that night, it was unsurprising that you crashed the minute you got home and slept right through until your alarm woke you for school the next morning. And there ends chapter 33. Stay tuned for chapter 34 coming tomorrow.